I've lived long enough to watch words circle back around, long enough to see a man's casual comment become another man's silent wound. I've seen laughter over coffee harden into years of coldness. I've seen gossip set a fire that no apology could put out. So let me say this plainly. If you don't need to say it, don't. That rule, if followed, will save you more grief than any cleverness ever gained. And it's a rule I've come to learn the hard way, like most of the important ones. Gossip feels small when it starts. It wears the clothes of curiosity, concern, or camaraderie. It disguises itself as venting, honesty, storytelling. It often rides in on laughter. But don't be fooled. Gossip is not benign. It is a knife passed hand to hand. Clean it first until someone presses too hard. And we always press too hard. We think we're just talking. We think we're sharing what we heard, what we noticed, what we suspect. And maybe we're right. Maybe the story's true. Maybe the person we're speaking of deserves the critique. But here's the question that stops me these days. Would I say it the same way if they were standing right here? And if not, why say it at all? It's not just about being kind, it's about being clean. When we speak ill of someone behind their back, something subtle happens inside us. We split. We become double-minded. We begin to relate to people through a filter of commentary. We start measuring others in private first, and only then in person. And in that way, we lose integrity, not moral purity, but wholeness, alignment, unity between our voice and our presence. That fracture spreads fast. If you speak of one man this way, you'll soon speak of another and another. And soon you'll wonder why you no longer trust the people around you, why conversations feel laced, why nothing feels safe. The answer is simple, because you help make it so. We gossip for many reasons, sometimes to bond, sometimes to feel superior, sometimes to blow off steam. But beneath all of that is usually a desire to shift attention away from ourselves, to let someone else be the fool for a while, the sinner, the one under the lens. But there's always a cost, and the cost is your word. Not just your speech, your word, your name, your credibility. Because once you are known as someone who speaks of others in their absence, trust becomes hard to earn. People may still laugh with you, they may still listen, but deep down they'll begin to wonder, what do you say when I leave the room? And they'll be right to wonder. Because no matter how righteous the content, talking about others is always a form of power. And when power is used lightly, it becomes dangerous. The older I get, the more I believe in silence. Not silence as in repression, not swallowing every thought, but silence as in choosing when to speak and when to let a thing pass. You don't owe every opinion your voice. You don't need to weigh in on every drama. You don't need to name names when someone's behavior annoys you. Let it pass. Let it die in your mouth before it reaches the air. Not because you're afraid of being caught, but because you respect the weight of speech. Speech is sacred. It builds worlds, it wounds, it binds, it liberates, and once it's spoken, it can't be undone. Gossip is like tossing seeds into the wind and thinking nothing will grow. Something always grows. You want to know the test? Here it is. If someone repeated your words about them back to you, word for word, would you feel ashamed? Would you squirm? Would you start justifying? That's your answer. If it can't stand in the light, it shouldn't live in the dark. Let me say one more thing. To the part of you that still wants to whisper, it's not worth it. Not the thrill, not the brief laughter, not the sense of inside knowledge. None of it lasts, but the harm does. To them, to you, to the air around you. Speak with care. Speak as if every word is a stone dropped into water, because it is. The ripples go further than you think. And if you're unsure, if you're caught between saying the thing or letting it go, let it go. You will never regret the cruel word you didn't speak.